Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, come in, come in. This is Tamika's Den. I am Tamika. And this is Powerful Force, y'all. Okay, recap and review. The name of this episode was Outrunning a Ghost. Okay, this is season 1, episode 7. And so with this episode, we started out in the club, alright? And I'm thinking this is Claudia coming through at first, but it ends up that this is Liliana, alright? Apparently they got some girls working for them. And Dahlia is officially out on the street. They are up in the club and they are kissing every damn body, alright? Everybody, is putting this Dahlia on their lips and they passing it along. And everybody's getting hot up and they liking this Dahlia, alright? And so Claudia actually says that it's moving a lot faster than she thought it would. And Tommy says faster is not always better, okay? He's not impressed. He actually wants everybody to be able to get it, whether it's the working man, the poor man, the rich man. He don't want it to just be where this is something that, as Claudia would say, is only high-end people could get, right? He wants it to be different types. So he's saying that he wants them to be able to, go to every different type of person. And he tells her that he's basically giving her, an education right now, giving her a street diploma. He said, this ain't no GED, okay? This is a master's type shit. You should be thanking me, alright? And I can understand where Tommy is coming from with that. But it seems like he really wants it to be like snap his fingers here today. And the fact is that the original Dahlia wasn't made like that, and it actually was made by mistake. So of course, if you're trying to, cut it and rearrange it and everything like that, that's gonna take some time. And Tommy don't really got patience where that's concerned. And so then we got, Reg from the Shy up in here. Okay, I don't know what his character name is up here, but I like how they got the Chi-Town people incorporated into the show. And he's talking and telling Diamond and Jannard how it's good seeing both of them together again. They telling him it's good to see him. And Z-Mac comes in with one of his little homeboys. And they saying they got a business opportunity that they got a pitch that they want them to hear. And Jannard is like, okay, Shark Tank it. Hit us with it. And so what they pitch ended up being was that, they have this cousin in Gary. And they're saying that, he's a veteran and that he's, got some way he want to move and that they could be the couriers. And Jannard is saying, that sounds like something I could work with. Actually, I like the pitch. But Diamond is saying, that he's not into the fancy business. And he's like, thank you for the pitch. But he feels like it's too many variables that they can't control. So he don't want to take that chance. So once again, we have a situation where Diamond and Jannard are not agreeing on something. They looking at it in two different ways. Jannard then tells Z-Mac, you got to earn my trust back. I don't like how you came back and gave me the money when I was telling you to go, and look at Tommy for me. And I need you to tell me where he's at because I'm basically taking him out tonight. That's going to be the end of him. And so, of course, D-Mac wants to get in on this deal. So he's like, okay, because Jannard essentially says, if you really want this Gary deal to go through, that's what I would need for you to do for me, right? We then have Daddy Flynn burning some pamphlets. That's basically a treatment that he could do, and at the same time, Paulie walks in, and he's telling Paulie, they're going to need extra security. They got the Serbs coming at them. And Paulie's like, well, why the hell would the Serbs come after us? Paulie don't even know what the hell is going on. And he basically tells him, how they came after Vic. And he had to go after them because it was his son. What else was he supposed to do? And Paulie says, okay, I got you. Yeah, you're right. You had to do what you had to do. But you have basically opened up the doors of hell, all right, by doing that. And so he goes off and says, let him go ahead and try to get everything intact that he can. We got Vic over here talking to Glow, talking about, do you want to go have breakfast? But Glow ass done left him a letter, okay, at the damn table saying she out of here. So I don't know if she done took this, deal that Claudia wanted to give her, or if she just left everything. But she tells him she thinks she needs time to herself. It's not worth it, with him and everything, with his family. And she needs to go away for a while. And of course, he tries to call her. Voicemail comes on and he leaves her a message. Tommy and Claudia are at the lab and they're telling her he's still basically on the same conversation he was having from when they was at her place. He's still saying people are paying too much. He's saying that they need to, count themselves out or phase out. That if they don't, fix this and make it where everybody could get on it, then they would count their selves out or phase out. And of course, again, they are not agreeing with each other. And the chemist is even trying to put her 2 cents in, saying, can she speak? And Tommy's telling her her vote doesn't count, okay? She's just there to do the work. And he was like, we need to expand. Again, the chemist says, if they knock off the compound, then it's not going to be Dahlia anymore. And he was like, of course it's still going to be Dahlia. They just need to make it, at a cost that comes to them, and stack it deep and sell it cheap. Okay, bottom line. And so Claudia, Liliana, and Tommy take a vote. Liliana is basically agreeing with Tommy, so it's 2-1. The chemist is just looking frustrated. Of course, she already said that she agrees with Claudia, and that wouldn't be as easy as what Tommy thinks it is. And he's just basically letting her know, at the end of the day, baby, you better make it work, or what is the point? Then, we wouldn't really need you if you can't do it at the end of the day. So do what you got to do, girl, okay? And so Jannard checks to see if D-Mac got any info. He's still telling him no. He's like, if he get anything, he going to be the first one that he tells, of course. And, Jannard also lets them know that this deal has nothing to do with CBI. He's going to go ahead and still do what they want to do with Gary, but he's doing it on his own because, of course, Jannard always got to still be Jannard, okay? He's still freaking raggedy and trifling, all right? And so the chemist, is basically still saying that, she's trying to explain it to Claudia, like it's not like when y'all trying to, mix y'all coke or cook y'all coke or whatever. This is a whole different level. And she's saying that if all the chemicals, every chemical links, and any changes to them would mess up the bond that they have. If she takes out one ingredient or put one ingredient, the whole thing could be messed up. Liliana is saying, oh, that's why, it can't be changed or whatever the case may be. And the chemist was like, yeah, she put a fail-safe with it. And so Liliana is like, oh, okay. She was like, that's why I couldn't get near it. And the chemist says, yeah, no one can. And so the chemist tells Liliana that she has to get out of there, right? Because she was supposed to be going to work. And she's like, if I'm going too long, people are going to miss me. I've never missed a day. Liliana is like, okay, girl, what you want, a gold star? You know what I mean? She was like, don't even try it. Nobody's trying to let you up out of here. This has to get done. But she does actually take the phone out, tells her to call up her boss, and then, she asks her what the boss name is. She takes the phone. She gets on there. And Liliana starts talking all proper. Like, she's showing she got different sides to her. She know how to play stuff too. She basically like, look, she not going to be able to come in today. She's feeling sick. No, according to the HIPAA laws, we can't give out that type of information and da-da-da. And she hangs up and was like, they so stupid they fall for anything, all right? And, as far as the date, she was like, well, what's this date and with who? And so she basically was saying it was her third date. And Liliana was like, oh, you trying to get some. And you was going to give him some tonight. Okay, I see you. And so, when Tommy comes back in, he essentially tells the chemist, at the end of the day, you have to figure this out, okay? And she was like telling him, well, it's science, it could be dangerous. And he was like, of course it's science, everything is science. And again, that is why we have you here, okay? He basically was like, Doc, that's why you're here, all right? And so Tommy says, Liliana tells him about the date. And he was like, I don't give a damn about no date. And then, Liliana essentially was telling him, like, look, she got to still, somewhat live some type of normal life or whatever. People will be coming and looking for her and asking about her if she don't show up. And so he says, okay, well then I guess you're going out tonight. So in other words, she got to be a babysitter for them, while they go out. And so then Tommy meets up with JP, right? And they're talking, and he's basically apologizing but not apologizing. He's saying that, he don't regret what he said to JP, but he do regret the way he says it. And JP is like, are you saying sorry or are you not saying sorry? Because I'm not hearing that so far. And so he does say what most of us was already thinking, that, he felt like he lost ghosts. He don't want to lose nobody else. He don't want to have another family member that he just found and then end up having that family member get hurt. So of course that's why he don't want to include him in the business. JP actually says, well, what about the club? You know, Tommy is even saying no to that. But if anything, that's what I figured Tommy would use him for to begin with. And he was like, well, what about the fact that, you know, this is your dad's business and you wouldn't want nothing bad going through it and you've been doing it, you know, trying to do this for him. And JP was like, yeah, exactly. I need to do this for him so I could stay afloat and have my own money. The whole point is that JP just don't want to feel like he had, you know, he's doing no handouts. You know, he was telling Tommy he want to do something easy, but Tommy was telling him there is no easy in this business. But at the end of the day, I think running the money through the club is actually probably the best idea. I don't know if Tommy's going to end up going with that or not. And we do find out also that grandma either had a stroke or an aneurysm, okay? And he was saying maybe we should call Kate and tell her about it. And he was like, why the hell would we do that? And he was like, well, that is her mother. He was like, obviously she don't care. According to her, she told me she died years ago. You know, she lied to me about that. She didn't tell me about you. I don't mess with that lady. JP is trying to say she can't be that bad of a person. There got to be more to her than that. And why should he just take Tommy's word for it? And Tommy, you know, he's like, JP is like, listen, she left me as soon as the umbilical cord got cut. And I still forgive her. Why can't you? What did she do so bad? And Tommy basically says, you know, she basically chose a ghost over me. All right, and walks away. You know, you got Daddy Flynn giving Vic and Claudia the rundown of what the situation is and the fact that he got security detail. Claudia's not happy with this. She's saying she not gonna have no damn security detail running behind her 24/7. And Daddy Flynn was like, look, you know, basically still dissing her. He talking about, I could give Vic a gun. He could handle himself. What you gonna do? Even if, you know, because she had told him to give her a gun. She was like, why don't you give me a gun and then you could see what I could do. He was like, you wouldn't even know how to make the first shot. And I'm like, this is the most funny, ironic thing ever with him saying that, because little do he know Claudia got more bodies than all of y'all. I really wish he would have just told him that, because he swear, you know, Claudia's just a frail little girl that all she could do is sit and file damn papers in the office. And here she is running a whole damn, you know, drug thing with Tommy. Wait till you find that out. You know, we have D-Mac run up to Tommy, and Tommy hurries up and turn around. He already been knowing he following him. He throws him up at the wall. You know, he shows him he have a gun. D-Mac is telling him like, yo, chill, I'm not even strapped. And he's basically like, why are you following me? Who sent you? You know, why are you coming after me? He was like, whoever wants me, just tell them I'm here. They could come see me anytime. And D-Mac was like, I'm just trying to tell you to watch your back. You know, Tommy did ask him, you know, who sent you? Was it Jannard? Was it Diamond? And, you know, D-Mac basically says, I'm not going to tell you all of that, but I'm just going to tell you that you definitely need to stay, you know, locked and loaded and keep your head on the swivel and pay attention, because people are out to get you. And Tommy's like, okay, you told me you did your job. You know, go ahead about your business. And of course he finds that interesting, and he just like, remember that though, okay? Tommy says, you know, Tommy goes and back to the lab, and the chemist is basically saying, you know, what makes Dahlia special if it doesn't have the glow? This chemist is funny to me too. I find that interesting, because you figure before she was just scared, she didn't want to do this. It was like, I'm not a drug dealer. I guess at this point she's feeling like, listen, y'all got me in this, so if I'm gonna be in this, I'm gonna do it the right way. I'm going to tell y'all my opinions on what I think it should be. She still wants it to have her staples. She still wants it to be able to do certain things. Whereas Tommy is just like, listen, as long as it gets you crazy high, people don't give a damn whether they got a glow or not. We just want you to do this and get it out here, girl. You know, he keeps trying to rush it, and it's like, you can't rush something like that, you know. And at the end of the day, Anna has been telling him, like, yo, we're tired. We've been working hard. She's been working nonstop. You seeing them trying different ways, and you know, sometimes the shit is bubbling up, it's about to erupt like it's a daggone volcano, and you see the chemist is getting very, you know, frustrated with it. And so you also see that they got these girls that's working the Dahlia, because Liliana goes to Claudia's house with her, and they got the girls lined up, okay? They telling them how they supposed to put it out. They telling them, you know, you signed the NDA, you can't talk about this with nobody. They telling them, giving a card like, oh, this is the lawyer you call if you should get into any problems. You don't call us. And so they got everything, you know, kind of set up as far as that goes or whatever. And Claudia peeps that Liliana pulled one of the girls to the side and was basically telling them, something to go do with Vic, okay? And so of course Liliana's gonna automatically put Tommy onto that, all right? And so then Liliana comes out again and tells Tommy, like, you pushing too hard. Like, I get it. I know you want to be in charge. You doing it right. I think we're on the right track. You got the right flow. But you cannot go too hard on this, okay? And in the meantime, the chemist comes out. Apparently, Liliana loans her clothes. And Tommy was like, how the hell y'all be, sharing clothes and stuff? And she, Liliana says, because we're magic. And she tells her she looks good with it. And she goes with Liliana to go on her date. Tommy basically gives her money. And she talking about, thank you, daddy. And I do like the chemistry and the flow that Liliana and Tommy have, okay? We also had Liliana crazy behind sitting at the daggone table with the chemist and her date. I'm like, girl, you couldn't get another table on the side. So she's like, oh, sorry to be a third wheel. The chemist gives him a story about Liliana being her third cousin that came from out of town. She's just getting to Chicago. And he's like, well, welcome to Chicago. And then she gonna talk about she's lying. So the chemist looked nervous for a minute. And I was like, girl, Liliana, what you about to say? But she was like, actually, I'm her second cousin. And so I thought that was funny. And she's sitting there, smiling, giving him a fake smile and having a drink and sitting there with him or whatever the case may be. Like, this is fun. We also had that flaky ass reporter meeting up with, I guess, her boss. And she's saying how this is supposed to be a big expose on the rise and fall of Diamond. The reporter's talking about, no, this wasn't supposed to be based on Diamond or whatever. I'm going to get a story and this is supposed to get her a Pulitzer Prize, all right? I'm like, girl, you doing a lot to get a Pulitzer Prize, all right? And so you could tell that she looked like she might be actually starting to fall for Diamond a little bit. But the boss was like, listen, if you can't do this, I'll get somebody else who can. And not only is she saying that it's the rise and fall of Diamond, but she's also saying that this could possibly put Diamond back in jail. So I hope Diamond got his antennas going up about this girl and know that there's something wrong with her. I hope he's checking into her and he's not just taking everything that she's singing at face value. That would be so messed up if Diamond ended up going down because of this chick, okay? I'm not here for that at all. But I guess we shall see. Of course, like I said, she had put him, Tommy on to freaking Claudia trying to be slick. So he was like, keep him posted about that. You have Jannard, Reg, okay, from the Shy, and the little boy that was with D-Mac. They go to the club, and he all open, and he telling some lady in there, oh, she got an onion booty, and it brings tears to his eyes. And the lady actually, this is Jannard, and going to talk about the little guy had a better, rap than him. She liked his line better. And of course, they come to give Jannard a taste of this damn Dahlia. And of course, like most of us knew, as soon as freaking Jannard get a taste of that on his lips, he is open, okay? That's it for him. We got the reported chick still trying to push up on Diamond. She's in the barbershop with him. She's giving him stories about how her father, used to always take her to the barbershop, and this brings back memories and makes her think of her father, and hearing the guys telling stories in the barbershops and how her father had a bald head, and Diamond's like, people with bald heads need their haircut too. But bottom line is they basically getting their freak on, okay? I don't know if Diamond kind of knows that there's something up with this chick and it's just like, I still want to just get my thing in. Hey, if she gonna come give it to me, I'm gonna take it type of thing. Or if he's just being real clueless when it comes to this. That part, I don't know yet. Y'all put it in the comments. Tell me what you think. Alright, and then, you got Tommy coming to the club with JP and he watching Vic. And of course, when he see, the girl giving Vic the sample on the lips, he's like, this MF. And so JP is like, you working? He's like, no, I'm watching. But he does tell JP, you go ahead, stay, have a good time. Basically gives him money and tells him to dance, and he leaves. The chemist is telling Claudia that it could take months for this drug to be made. Again, like I said, she's trying a whole bunch of different samples. Nothing is working. Claudia is saying we don't have months. We see Jannard getting busy in the truck with the chick, and he's definitely saying, whose is this? I want in on it. And she basically was like, well, I can give you this, all right? I can't tell you who it is because I don't know. And she gives him a sample of the Dahlia. We all saw that coming, okay? And so in the midst of Jannard being in the truck, we got D-Mac running up on his homeboy. He's mad because he's like, yo, you went behind my back. You cutting me out. He basically smashed homeboy in his head. They fight and he pulls out a gun. And Reg is basically the whole time telling him to put the gun away, telling them to stop. And the guy tells him like, nah, yeah, we doing our own thing. We don't need you. You out of this now. So I'm like, watch that. They did that. Because now D-Mac, I feel, is going to be riding with Tommy for sure. Tommy going to end up taking him under his wing. And he probably going to tell him everything that he knows about Jannard. Which I don't mind. And I hope in the midst of that, he finds out that that's his nephew. I don't know. But y'all tell me what y'all think about that. And so Tommy basically comes back and sees that, the security that Flynn put on damn Claudia is sitting down in the, in front of the building talking about how they, hate this babysitting they got to do for her. And Tommy said, well, let me help y'all out with that and kill both of them, okay? And of course he goes upstairs and he goes off on Claudia like, you done got security following you. I thought you said you didn't want nobody knowing what you was doing and you didn't want this coming back to your family. She's like, I don't. He's like, well, you sure enough have security downstairs. And she's like, well, where they at now? What happened to them? He's like, they basically were waiting to be buried where those other bodies was at, okay? And he tells her, if he has to second guess her at all, it's not going to work, okay? All bets is off. And of course, Liliana comes back, behind after she walks out and says, I told you we couldn't trust her. And Tommy says, we still need her. So you kind of got Liliana ready, to knock Claudia off if she needs to. And then you got her ready to knock the chemist off too if she needs to. Because at one point she did turn and say to Tommy, she doesn't seem to be getting this. This doesn't seem to be working. What happens if it doesn't work? And Tommy keeps telling her, don't worry, it is going to work. It is going to work. She's like, well, if it don't, she knows too much. So I'm like, no, don't kill the chemist. I know she's not a big character, but she's a black woman. And I don't want them to kill her. Okay, let her live. So anyway, Jannard basically brings, Dahlia to Diamond. And Diamond is saying, listen, we going to stick to what we know. I don't know what that drug is. I don't know what the side effects is. I don't know what it could do. I'm not just putting some random drug on the street. We got the pipelines. We got things we wanted to get them to. Why would we mess it up? Of course, this is something else that him and Jannard is not agreeing on. And he was telling him, like, you have to remember, I went to jail for a bad batch of drugs, not you, okay? You don't know what it is to be on the inside. And even though I feel like Diamond was a little stupid with backing out on the deal with Tommy, and I feel like he being a little stupid with the reporter, but maybe he just got us thinking that he being stupid because Diamond does seem like he's a thinker. He does seem like he's strategic. I don't think he would be that dumb. I have to agree with him. At the end of the day, if you spent 15 years in jail for putting out a drug that, went bad with people, then why would you be in a rush to freaking, put something else out that you don't know what it is? I agree with Diamond 100%. I do not blame him for that. But of course, Jannard is not looking at it that way. This is pissing him off that once again Diamond is not agreeing with him. Of course, he tells Diamond, no, this is going to be the future. And he leaves it with him anyway. And he walks out with an attitude. But I understand where Diamond is coming from with that. Because even right now, everybody's going crazy over it. We don't know if when the guy Reggie that went up and attacked Claudia last week that was supposed to be the family friend, we don't know if even when he attacked her, was that a result of him, going through withdrawal over the drug? Is this going to have people out here like they damn crackheads? We don't know what the hell the other effects of this is going to be. Right now, everybody's going crazy and talking about it and wanting it. But if that was anything to do with it, we could have a whole lot of people coming and doing some crazy stuff, right? And then what y'all would be saying. So, I don't know, but that's going to be interesting. We got to still watch out for that. And so, Vic is basically drinking all his damn sorrows away over Glow. Of course, Daddy Flynn come and take the bottle away from him. And he's just telling him, like, he didn't mess up with Glow like based off of them, or you know, Daddy Flynn coming at her, whatever. He was like, it's his fault. He messed up with her for putting them first, for choosing them over her. Every time they had an argument, it was about them. And Daddy Flynn says to him, of course, you did the right thing. You did the thing you were supposed to do. You chose family. You was loyal. And, you know, Rick was like, no, y'all my blood, but that's my home. And he was like, I basically messed up. And he gets up and walk away. And, you know, Flynn was looking like he cared for about 2 seconds, but he probably really don't. You know, Diamond go ahead and meet with Tommy, of course, at the diner. And they talk, of course, about hearing that Walter done got into it with the Serbs, that he was the one that took them out. Tommy's like, okay, well then maybe he's taking care of that problem for us. Maybe that's a good thing. And of course he asked Tommy if he knows about Dahlia and where it came from. And Tommy's basically like, I heard some things, but of course Tommy ain't gonna tell him. And he was like, but ain't you doing, you know what I'm saying, your coke thing? He essentially says the same thing to Diamond that Diamond said to Jannard in reference to it. But Diamond says to Tommy, which I think he already knows that he has something to do with it. I think he's figured it out that, you know, that's why Tommy walked away without it being such an argument with them when they backed out of the original deal, because he already knew he had a backup and that is something that's way better, you know, than what they have. And so Diamond says, nah, but this can change the whole game, and he walked out. And so I don't know where that one is going to go. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments. You know, we didn't have Jannard being his same trifling, backstabbing behind. He's meeting up with the guys from, you know, Gary. And he's basically telling them that this has nothing to do with CBI, that he's making his own deal with them. He gives them a bag in the meantime and was like, this is so the next time I come around, we ain't got to play no games. We could get right to it. And, they got that set to go, okay? And so now when Tommy comes back in, everybody's standing there smiling. He's like, what, y'all got it? Y'all got it? The chemist is basically like, and he's like, that's it, that's it. She's like, yeah. And so he's like, you figured it out? And so she was like, yep. And she was basically saying that it would take half of MIT to be able to figure this out, you know, how she fixed it. And so he's like, it's looking good, it's looking right. You know, it still got the same look or whatever. And she says, you know, he told her she could go home. And I'm like, please let this lady go home, all right? And she says, okay. And she says she's down to come back tomorrow. And he was like, you know, as she walking away, he was like, so Doc, you don't want to find out what it is too? And I got a little nervous at that part. I don't know if it was just me, but I felt like something was about to happen to her. Or maybe they still didn't trust her, or if they would have snipped it. Because, you know, they testing these damn drugs. And like we said, we don't know the effects it's going to have on them. And so they all go over there. And she was like, yeah, I do want to test it. And they basically all stand around the table. It's Claudia, it's Liliana, it's Tommy, it's the chemist. And they all tested at the same time. You know, for a minute there, they all just standing and looking. And I'm like, oh, Lord, is it a dud? It ain't nothing happening. And then all like clockwork, they all turn into zombies and was like, you know, like all of them is having damn orgasms at the same time. So I don't know, y'all. Dahlia's on the streets, which I think now they're going to take over everywhere. They're going to be moving this. Which I think. And is Z-Mac about to officially be on Tommy's side and blow all them up? I don't know. But this is getting interesting, y'all. It's getting real interesting. Y'all know episode 8 is usually the explosive, so I'm waiting to see what's going to go down. But y'all put it all in the comments. Tell me how you felt about it. Until next time, you know, make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. Till next time, Tulu.